everyone, and welcome to season 9. So, with us to kick off season 9, I have a good friend. Let me introduce you. So, Elizabeth Plancon is an intuitive soulpreneur, mentor, activator, and healer. Her mission is to achieve others in their soul's purpose, potential, and power so that they can live a life of fulfillment while creating the life of their dreams. And today she's here to join us because we're going to discuss why it's so important to not be afraid of stepping into your calling and what that all entails. Little bit important. Elizabeth, thank you so much for joining us. How are you?
I'm fabulous. Thank you for having me.
Of course. And I think our topic is so important, not just stepping into our calling, because I know you're a soulpreneur and you help people, but literally stepping into our purpose as people, as humans, as beings, whatever that purpose may be. But can you share with us just a little bit of maybe how this came about for you? Where did this all come from? Why are you doing what you're doing?
Yeah, so I stepped into my calling per se, or I started to have that call, hearing the call back in 2020 when the world shut down and we all had so much extra time on our hands, right? To just be and be still. We're so used to being go, go, go all the time. I don't think I really ever had that stillness in my life. And so I started to get this calling to do something else that I was currently doing. I had been working with my mom for over 15 years and was supposed to take over her company when she retired. Would have been, just a good living, it would have been fine. And I just started to feel unfulfilled. Like
Hmm.
I was meant for something else. I was meant to help some, people in a bigger way, in some other way. And so I just started exploring, opening myself up to finding that purpose and finding what it was I was really here to do because I was a business major. So I was, and I've always been intuitive. I've always been interested in the spiritual realm and into spirituality, but I never really took the time, again, always going, 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 to
Hmm.
actually go inward and do something for myself, like really for myself, like personal development. So that's kind of how I got into it. And I just started exploring, and I found my first mentor by someone was offering soul purpose readings, and I was like, "Yep,
Nice.
need that." Like,
Uh-huh,
tell me what I'm
nice.
supposed to do here. Um, and it my with my mentor, she was a psychic development mentor, and we ended up spending 9 months together. And I developed my psychic abilities because I've always had them. Again, never really took the time to study and learn how to use them, but I still felt like there was more to it. There was more that I was supposed to do in my purpose here. And so I ended up coming across my next mentor, who was a mindset and manifestation coach, and really studying that and understanding and mastering that. And that completely changed my life, like complete 180 about everything, which we can get more into later.
Mm-hmm.
And I started teaching. I was like, this is, I need to teach people this. Like, everyone needs to know this
Mm-hmm.
information and material. But then again, as months went on, feeling like there's still something else here that I'm really supposed to be doing, that I'm really supposed to be helping people with. And, through that process of exploring, I found out or discovered, remembered, whatever you want to call it, that I'm actually an activator and I have light language, that I am able to activate people through my light language and my energy. And really, so my purpose here is helping other people step into their purpose. So collectively, we can raise the consciousness of the world and raise the vibration and the frequency, because the world needs that right now, right? We're so yearning for more positivity, more happiness and joy, and less sorrow and tragedy. And we're all needed. All of those people that have this bigger purpose here, the world is calling for us to step into that right now.
Love it. No wonder I wanted you on the show. I mean, literally, it's everything I am. It's everything that all of us are. And like I wrote down, I write some things. I wrote down like so many key things that you said because I'm kind of gonna go all over the place.
It's
When we
okay.
go on our purpose, when we discover that we do want other people to know, we do because we feel amazing. It's not because we want to tell people, look, do what I'm doing because you should. No, it's God, I want to share this with the world. I want to share this with others. It's like this aha and this great big awakening inside of us of wanting to tell others, oh my God, there's so much of a better life. There's so much better things that we can do. But I'm going to go back to something that you said at the beginning, because in my eyes, that's probably like step one. You said you started to feel unfulfilled.
Hmm.
And I
Yeah.
think that is such a step one thing for people to understand that you could be having a great career. You could be making great money. You could have the potential to make blah, 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 make great money. But it's that feeling inside of there's something missing. Can you explain to people what that kind of felt like? Like, I'll tell you my part later, but I want people to understand that there's no set way in how to feel that, but it is that common thread of all of us that kind of shift into something else, that feeling.
Yeah, it's, for me, it was really just like not being excited to go and do what I was doing every day, right? Like not excited to go to work, not excited to, um, and being around the people that I worked with, lovely people, of course, but the industry I was in as a whole was beginning to feel suffocating for me. And to think about having to do this for the rest of my life
Right.
was like, I know, like I don't want to be in this negativity, this fighting all the time. And just a little backstory, I worked for an association where we were constantly fighting for good, better ethics in the industry. And it's not something that I was passionate about, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for me to be fighting for something that I'm not truly passionate about didn't make sense anymore, right? It didn't feel right in my body. So it really was just like this, oh, I'm just going through the motions every day for the paycheck, right? And
Right.
not really feeling that I'm making a difference here. I'm doing something, like I'm helping in the way that I'm meant to help here. Sure, there's people that are meant to help in that place, in
Mm-hmm.
that spot, and people have taken over my role in that way, but that's their passion, right? That's what lights them up. It wasn't lighting me up anymore, and I wanted to find that thing that really excited me and gave me energy, and knew that I was using my gifts and my innate skills and abilities to be able to help people.
Right. Yeah, and you hit it completely spot on, because it's that feeling of, okay, it's great, but it's not for me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like going, I don't like doing this, I don't like all these things. It's like when you don't feel happy and energized in doing what you're doing, it's a key secret to you're not where you're supposed to be. But the kicker is many have been conditioned to stay there because of
Yeah.
the paycheck.
100%. You have to be secure. These are the things that you're
Exactly.
supposed to do. And, just like for me, I was conditioned to go to college. It wasn't, if you're going to college, it's what college are you going to? And I
Mm-hmm.
kind of just followed what I was supposed to do and was told to do kind of my whole life. Like
Mm-hmm.
as a younger sibling, right? Like, oh, play these sports because your sister's playing these sports. Oh, you're good at
Mm-hmm.
this. Go to do this. And I would just be like, okay, never
Right.
really find, and I loved the sports I played, like don't get me wrong, like they were fun, but it was never really finding the thing that really really like excited me and lit me up, right? It
Mm-hmm.
was, just following what everyone else told me to do. And I think we do that a lot in society, and society says don't quit your job. Like, what, are you crazy? You have to pay your bills. Like,
Right. You're not being responsible. Why are you even considering it? Right.
yeah, and I love how like, when we talk about energy, like this is something I truly believe, and I experience it every day when I am living in my purpose, like when I'm working with clients, my energy is so high, is like buzzing like crazy. I am so energized because normally I'm a low energy person when I'm not working, right?
Okay.
And but when
Uh-huh.
I'm in a call or even like podcasts like this, it's like boop, like because
Yep.
I'm living in my purpose. So that's how I know that this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Thank you for saying that, because it happens to me on the talk show. And I tell everybody I created the platform for, all the reasons that I did, but I love having these conversations. And it's because number one, we're talking in the same vibe. We're talking in the same frequency. I love expanding and I love sharing what I know and comparing and da, da, da. But it does put you in such a high vibe that even I edit, I do the videos, I do all the things. Even when I'm doing that part, I'm in such a high state that in the back of my mind, I'm like, I know this is what I'm meant to be doing because I can feel it in my body.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm not hating it. I'm not dragging it. I mean, I've had to do editing videos for like other businesses and I'll do them. Yeah, but there's no way that it's that same high vibe. It's the
Right.
energy, the everything. I love that you said that. And okay, so let's go back into when people, let's say not everybody is gonna be like us, that we're open and sharing and this, but everybody does come with a purpose from your experience, from your knowledge, from yourself, from everything that you are. How do you see, or what would you help them with in advice, as in how to find their purpose? Because sometimes people are unhappy and they know they don't feel fulfilled, but they don't have, okay, this is exactly what I think I need to do.
Right, right. And really too, it took me, having a mentor to help me guide me as well, right? To kind of that way. So, you know, first and foremost, you can look into working with someone to help you go towards that purpose, right? Like there are people that specifically do that.
Hmm.
But if you don't want to do that, which is totally fine, I would say start exploring, right? Like I did. Like just start opening yourself up to receive, first of all, like whatever higher power you believe in. If you believe in one, you can just ask, please help show me what I'm supposed to do here. And
Hmm.
you will begin to see opportunities or different classes or workshops will begin to come into your environment, just as like that post that was my first mentor came into my environment and I said yes, right?
Hmm.
So it's like following the breadcrumbs, but really paying attention to what you enjoy, right? Like what lights you up, what excites you, because that is going to lead you to your purpose. The
Yeah.
thing that excites you is going to lead you to what you're supposed to be doing here. And so I really would invite you just to play and give yourself some space and time, right? I know I'm one of the most impatient people in the world. Well, I used to be when I first started this journey, because I remember when I wanted to find what my purpose was, I would just sit there and meditate and be like, can you just show me what it is? Can you just tell me what it is like every day? And I was like, just like, hurry up, come on,
Right, right. And be
But
clear. Show me in a very clear way that I won't miss it. Right.
right, be clear.
Right.
Well, yeah. And then I heard teacher leader finally one day, but I was like, oh, okay, cool. But about what? Like, what am I supposed to teach about? Like, what do I know?
Right.
I had just started my whole like spiritual journey, right? And I was like
Hmm.
nowhere prepared to start coaching or teaching people, right? Um, but yeah, it was really allowing the time and the space for me to explore and expand and,
Hmm.
taking different classes, different certifications. Like, I took different healing certifications and like I said, my coaching and the mindset manifestation stuff. So giving it some time, right? You
Yeah.
may not know right away, but that's okay. But really, time will go so fast when you're enjoying yourself and it will be all worth it.
Yeah. And I want to add to that. Sometimes we think, oh, this is it. This is what I enjoyed. Just the fact that you're doing something that you enjoy raises your self-esteem, raises your vibration. It makes you happier. And maybe that's not the thing, but it'll guide you to the next. Or you'll meet one person, I don't know, let's say you're painting ceramics, and the person next to you, you start having a conversation. That's literally the person that might have that answer for you for that next step. So it's not a matter of, oh, okay, I got the hints. This is it. Oh, but nothing happened. Well, give it
Right.
time, like you said, give it time, because if we do follow that intuition, if we do follow that sense, the purpose wants to come out and be manifested. It will try to find every single possible way for you to pick up on it. And I think that's where a lot of people, like you said, impatient, they're like, oh no, that wasn't it. And they throw in the towel. And they're like,
Right.
this doesn't work. This doesn't, that's a whole bunch of woo-woo, whatever, you know? But it's true. It is. That's the way we all follow our path.
Yeah, exactly. And it really is because it's like one thing can lead to the next. Just as like, I took those different classes and certifications because I still felt like there was a piece missing. And even I started working with a business coach one time for 4 or so months and it helped my business. But I ended up meeting my next mentor who really guided me to this next phase in my purpose
Mm-hmm.
because of my previous business coach, right? She
Mm-hmm.
was a client of hers too, and we somehow connected.
Right.
And it's just like I would have never met her had I not taken that course, that business coaching program with that prior mentor. So really just understanding that everything will happen for a reason in divine timing.
Yeah. No, and I love that. And the other thing I wanted to bring up was example, there's so many of us doing the same kind of work.
Yeah.
But what I want people to realize is there's so many more of us needed.
Uh-huh.
So even though we think, sadly, oh, that person's better, they have more this, they have more, it doesn't matter. It's like you're a piece of a puzzle for a certain little puzzle, whether that's little or big. But it doesn't matter that we're all doing the work because I get a lot of feedback from people that say, oh, but there's so many of those already, like mindset coach. Oh, there's so many mindset coach. And I was like, and for every one coach that can help 10 people, isn't that worth it?
Yeah, and this is funny. The When I first started developing my psychic abilities, that was a thought I had. I'm like, there's so many out there. Like, who's gonna hire me? Like, who's gonna want to work with me? And this one program I took was like another finding your soul purpose. I took a lot of those in the beginning, right?
Uh-huh.
Um, she said something to that change, like I will never forget. There's over 7 billion people in the world here,
Yes.
and I, as a coach, cannot help 7 billion people. And so we are all needed, all of the light workers, all of the, people that are in service to other people for different things. Like I have multiple mentors, coaches. I have a fitness coach. I have a functional doctor, right? Like I have my business strategist. So I have multiple coaches for getting into my, true highest self. But like understanding also too that there is a client for everyone at every level,
Yep.
because someone that maybe has been doing this for like 10, 15 years may not help the beginners anymore. So there needs to be those newer coaches that are coming, or mentors or service providers that are coming into the,
Mm-hmm.
environment, the industry, to help those that are just starting out. Because those people that, might be in a few years in are now the clients for those people that have been in for 15 years, right?
Right.
So there's always someone that you can help, and we're
Right.
all needed so very much right now.
Right. No, and in not only in this space, but in so many different spaces. Because while yes, the talk show is based on spirituality, and I want everybody to develop their own sense of whatever it is, maybe they're not going to be a mindset coach, but maybe they can be the best nurse there is, or maybe they can do a dream that they have, or maybe they can whatever. I'm thinking in Spanish now, el carnicero, be the best meat butcher, or whatever it is, we're all needed. But it's
Mm,
even an artist, like the typical example, an artist that was told to go to a bank and get a work and do the financing thing and the stability and the whole thing. But the man's an artist. We need his art because his art brings us back into the beauty, the creativity, the joy of living. So
mm,
even that piece of the puzzle, it's like do whatever fulfills you and makes you happy. And that is your soul purpose. Because what I'm getting at is a lot of people are like, the soul purpose has to be this big magical thing, and you have
right.
to transform 3,000 lives. If not, it's no, it's not.
It's not. You're so right, because I personally know I am not here to reach the masses, like millions and millions of people, right? I am here to reach those people who are then going to go out and help other people, right?
Right.
Creating that ripple effect. So you're so right. It doesn't have to be this big, huge purpose where you're doing all these big things. It could be like you said, it could be just any sort of service provider. Like I have a client who's a photographer, and I'm like, you're helping people, right? You're helping them create these memories and, something for them to go back and look at and feel good about themselves and their family and all the thing. So you are helping raise the vibration of the world through your work as a photographer, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's anything that's going to help lift our frequencies to a higher place.
It is. And side note, I do boudoir photography.
Nice,
And
beautiful. I love it.
And the thing is that it's you, even through photography, even through art, you bring out a piece of the woman or a piece of the family that they don't see themselves. And it's obviously it's very different depending on the client.
Yeah.
A boudoir photographer won't put it in the living room, while a family might put the family picture in the living room. It depends. But it's bringing that memory of look how beautiful you are and look how beautiful your life is. Look how beautiful your family is. And that's bringing the purpose. That's living your purpose and bringing them joy. So yeah, it doesn't have to be this really big major 3,000 speaker audience. It's you can be impacting a home.
Right. Yeah,
And how
exactly.
beautiful is that? And we don't know what happens inside their home. So it's amazing to do that. Now let's talk about the opposite. Let's talk about when people actually live in fear, stay conditioned, stay not living their purpose, how does that affect the world? How does that affect them?
Yeah, I think right now we are, overall, my personal opinion is we're in a state of fear, right? Fear mongering and telling all the people the worst case scenarios. And so is that is why I feel like our world is in a lower vibrational state right now, which
Mm-hmm.
causes all these lower vibrational activities that are
Mm-hmm.
going on in the world. So the more that we can spread our love and our joy and happiness, and even by being an example to those around us, the more that we will rub off on other people to show them how you can be happy, how you can live a beautiful life, and not allow the outside factors to affect what's going on within you. And also, I tell people this all the time, and I do this myself, just by sending out love to the world energetically is going to help raise the vibration of this world, because I truly believe that we're all connected and that we can all feel each other's energy. So
Mm-hmm.
if we are sitting, if there's the more and more people that can send out love and do this kind of work that lifts the vibration of the world, then it's going to help bounce back that lower, vibration that we're in right now. Because
Mm-hmm.
living in fear of thinking, our thoughts create our current existence, right? Our thoughts create our reality. So if you're constantly focused on all the bad things that can happen, that's exactly what's going to happen is more bad things.
Mm-hmm.
So what if you changed your thoughts from that, worrying about all the things that could happen, all the things that have already happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
And think about how you would love your life to look, how you would love the world to be, and focus on that. And that's what's going to help start shifting the vibration, I believe, of the world.
Right. And it's a matter of, yes, that mindset piece, the shifting. You have to change the focus. And for some, it's not as easy as others because they still have the external factors affecting them. And instead of wanting or being able to reshift it or reframe it, they use it as, well, see, that's what happened and that's the way that it is. And from my point of view, if again talking about the purpose and fulfilling and stepping into your purpose could even just be that for you. Your purpose could just be learning how to shift and just
Right.
learning to see the world in a different way and in the different mindset. And then, yes, all those things that you said happen because I think it's amazing. I think it's amazing the change that magically happens because it is magical. The magical, miraculous shift when you start literally stepping into your purpose, and your purpose could just be happiness, and your life
Yeah.
changes.
Yeah, I think it's important to point out, following that up, is like really your purpose here, all of our purposes here, I believe, in this world, in this lifetime, in this human life, right, is to expand and grow,
Yeah.
is to expand and experience life to the fullest, right, in all the ways possible. That's first and foremost, right, is to be able to do new things and be able to grow. But if you stay stuck in that fear, stuck in that same patterns over and over and over again, doing the same thing all the time, then you are not growing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's really important, again, talking about purpose, that it, like you said, it could just be your purpose could be just figuring out how to be happy with your life as it is right now, and be figuring out how to be in gratitude with what you have now. And funny thing is the more that you're grateful for what you have now, the more things that will start to come into your environment to be grateful for.
Yep.
And talking about the energetics, right? I just wanted to share a story about that, because sometimes people could be like, well, yeah, right, like how does that work by me sending out love to other people?
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're
Mm-hmm.
actually going to do anything, like
Mm-hmm.
whatever. So there was a study done in the 90s, I believe, in Washington, D.C., where I think about like 2,000 people came together and meditated every single day for over the summer, right? Like 90 days, I think it was, sending love to the people in Washington, D.C. And they were, trying to conduct a study if crime rates would drop. In the summer, crime rates always go up, right? Because
Right.
people are out, it's nice out, it's like everywhere it goes up. Well, crime rates actually dropped by 28%, I believe it was. So just to show you that it really does work, it really can work when we all come together
Yeah.
with this common theme of sending love and light to the world.
Yeah. And I love that you said that because yes, while we talk about it and this all sounds in the head and spiritual and in energetic, there are so many research people already having case studies and proofs, and you're absolutely right. And 28% is actually a huge thing. Like we look
Hmm.
at the number and it's like, oh, 28. No, 28% is a huge thing for crime, for all of those things. And it's the proof that maybe sometimes the people need. But then at the
Yeah.
same time, it also empowers the ones that are already doing it to do it more. So it's
Right.
kind of like it works in both ways. It works in the look, for those that you don't believe, here's proof that it does. And for those of us that believe it, it's like keep doing more. It's like you want to do more. And again, it's that what you just said, that whole gratitude and the love, and you feel happy. There's this chemical shift within us that actually makes us feel happy from the inside out. It's a natural high, which oddly enough should be our regular vibe and our regular feeling, except we bring it down with all the thoughts and the negativity and the stress. But that natural high is what we're supposed to be feeling all the time. That's why we want to share it with the world.
Yeah, exactly. I love that.
Yeah, it's crazy to see it in so many different ways. Okay, the other thing I wanted to say is you made mention of allowing time and play to explore into the different possibilities. And I wanted to bring that back because there are sometimes people that they don't know what they want,
Right.
pure and simple. But when you said that, I want to rehash it because it is important to play. It is important to just try something without
Hmm.
having the expectation that this is it,
Right. Right.
right? How do you see
100%.
that?
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. Just trying new things, right? Because you can't do the same things you've always done and expect a different result, right?
Hmm.
So we have to try new things and put ourselves out there. And maybe you might be a little uncomfortable, but that's actually how you grow is by becoming uncomfortable. We don't
Hmm.
grow staying comfortable. So whatever it is that, might appeal to you that you thought you might want to do, or whatever on your bucket list, or just going to the local dance studio and trying to dance or plant or garden or walk in nature, or whatever it is that you might even appeal to a little bit, right? Like if there's little inkling, but it does require a little effort on your part of going out and exploring and or going online and looking for different classes that might
Right.
interest you, right? Like different workshops and different things. So that's really, allowing yourself that time to do those things for yourself, and
Hmm.
you can always find time, right? So many of us are like, I don't have time for that. I have so much. Look at
Right.
your day and see where you're actually doing kind of like non-productive activities. And I watch TV, don't get me wrong, but like, maybe you don't watch TV for an hour one night and you go do a local class somewhere, right? You know what I'm saying? Like there's
Hmm.
always enough time. There's always
Yeah.
enough time to do these new things.
Yeah. And I think what keeps us from that is that not wanting to venture out because we get to a point that we get so, what's the saying, comfortable in the uncomfortableness that
Yeah.
we're
Yeah, we get so used to
so,
being like unhappy. We get you like our body
hmm
is like used to being in this state of
hmm
unfulfilled and everything like that.
hmm
And our ego just tries to keep us safe. And it's like,
yeah,
no, don't go do new things. Like, why would you do
right.
that?
Right. We don't know that. We don't know who's going to be there. You don't know what's going to happen between here and there. Right. And that's the thing. It's pushing yourself. And that's literally up to every person. You
Right.
have to push yourself to get out of that comfort zone, even out of that state. 100%, I'm always like honest on the show everywhere, but honest on the show that I share a lot of things. I've been there that it's like, I know I want to go out and I want to have time and I want to have fun and I have to push myself because when it comes time to, I have to shower and get ready and get pretty and get dressed up. Ah, that sounds like so much work. I'd rather not do it. And yet I push myself and I'm like, screw it, I'm going to go ahead. And I have a blast. And you come back thinking,
Yep.
oh my God, I almost missed that. But
Right.
you do have to do that in everything, in life and personal and business and in relationships and everything.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I could totally relate. I'm such a homebody. So like just even to like go out and do something that I would love to do for me sometimes takes a lot of effort of actually doing it. Like, oh, I gotta drive at night and go like 30 minutes when I just want to be at home because I'm
Right.
not a night owl. But it's so much fun once you actually do that, right?
Hmm. And I think the other part is because it just clicked into my mind right now when we're recording. I am in Navarre, Florida, and I am 6 minutes from the beach.
Nice.
And it's a matter of, I don't want to wake up extra early, literally before the sun comes out, to get to the beach, to see the sunrise. But I do it and I wake up and I drink my coffee half asleep while I do my 6 minute drive. And I get to the beach and it's just like, ah, I'm so glad
Mm-hmm.
I woke up early. I'm so glad I made it before the sun. I was actually running against the sun time coming up. Like I wanted to get here so I could see the whole thing. And it's such a wonderful experience. Now, not everybody gets to do that, and I understand, but things like that in nature,
Mm.
things like that that can just connect us, a hike, a walk, even a walk in the community. Those are things that we can always do that'll uplift our spirits, that'll help our bodies, that it'll help our mind. And especially if we're wanting to like share our purpose and step into our purpose, we have to stay in movement. We have to stay okay to do that, to be able to receive the little intuition. Oh, maybe I want this class, or maybe this mentor, or so those are all like little things that at least I practice. Do you have anything else that you might suggest for somebody to actually connect with that?
Yeah, for me, it was really starting to practice meditation. And meditation is a practice. So it's, and everyone's like, oh, I can't meditate or I'm not doing it right. But there's no wrong way to meditate, right? So, like, I think just taking the pressure off yourself with that. And like you said, even going in nature and walking can be a form of meditation. Like, maybe don't put earbuds in where you're listening to music or a podcast while you're meditating or when you're driving, and just let your thoughts be, right? Just let the thoughts come in, the inspiration, the ideas. And for me, when I first started meditating, I had to do it every day with a ritual, right? Like I would have to do breath work where I was taking really deep grounding breaths. And then I would lay down and I would put a crystal on my third eye, because for
Mm-hmm.
me, I truly believe that that energy was helping activate my intuition. So whatever, finding just in playing, again, this is a play, right? Playing what
Right.
works for you, what feels good in your body. And then, just ask, whatever you want to believe in, whether you say God, source, spirit, universe, spirit team, angels, whatever it is, of some
Mm-hmm.
sort of higher power that you can call upon. Please help me find my soul's purpose that is going to help me feel fulfilled every single day. And just ask every day. And again, you'll start seeing things. You will, like when you're scrolling on Facebook, or a TV
Mm-hmm.
commercial or an ad or whatever will come into your environment, because you've asked for it, but you have to start paying attention.
Right.
Start looking for the signs, start looking for those things and paying attention to what you start seeing and observing.
Right. And I love that you said that because sometimes people are told or they hear, ask for the thing, and they sit there and they wait.
Yeah.
And then they get frustrated because they don't hear it. Some may not, but it's ask, release it, and
Hmm.
be aware of what shows up. And
Right.
you're absolutely right. Even Facebook ads have led me to things that it's like, oh, I don't know how they found me, but yes, I like this. Like that's exactly what I needed.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
yeah,
Spirit's always listening. Like literally, my husband and I were talking about how we needed to get new tires on my car, and 3 minutes later, a tire commercial came on the radio that I've never heard before in my life, and it was like,
right,
get $260 in rebates
right,
before, I was like, okay, thank you. Like
right,
now I'm gonna,
right. And
so
here's the thing, it could have played before, but you didn't
right,
need it before. Now that
right,
you need it and you're aware and you asked, how is this going to happen? There you go.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly, because
And
I was
that's how
paying
things
attention.
happen. Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, Elizabeth, I know we're running out of time. Thank you so much for this. I want people to connect with you. I want you to be able, because you do a lot of things that we haven't talked about, like the light language and the activation and the whole business and the strategy and just you in general. I want them to connect with you. How and where can they do that?
Yeah, so pretty much everything is my name. My website is my name, elizabethplanson.com, or you can find me on all the social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, with my name as my username, Elizabeth Planson. Those are the best ways to find me.
That's the easiest way. I love it.
Yeah,
As
yeah.
always, I'll put it in the show notes, but thank you again for coming, for sharing your experience, your story, and all of these tips, because I think it's all so good for people to see that, yes, we all have a purpose. No, it doesn't have to be just like ours. It can be your very own, but it's important for you as an individual to be able to step into it and just live happier, even if that's what it takes.
You deserve it, and you have every right to live a fulfilled and abundant life.
Yes, agreed. Bye, everyone. Thank you, Elizabeth, and we'll talk to you guys soon.